First of all, just say good morning to everyone. I saw some pretty good smiles as I walked around. It's a great day. It's a great day to be here, joined by so many families, friends, members of city government, obviously our chief, our council president. I'm going to ask them both to say a few words, but also especially to be in the presence of in a minute or two, to be our new detective. So let's give them a round of applause. So just so you know, because Joe said, Joe, you know, maybe we didn't organize, but it looks like we did pretty good with everyone here. It was last minute and for a variety of reasons, but for good reasons. For those of you that want to get into the nuances, the technicalities of how city government works sometimes, there's a lot of input that go into major decisions, such as, I'll call it a class of detectives, or this group of promotions today, 11 in all. But there's lists, and there's tests, and there's processes, and then, you know, there's time frames, and all those came together to bring us here this morning. And those that had to change your schedules, got last minute notice, or maybe some that aren't here, our apologies. But we thought it was important to make sure we got it in before Friday. I think the detectives and the chief, of course, knows what I'm talking about. So before we go any further, we're just simply going to administer the oath. I want the chief to say a couple words, and I know, and then our council president, Irene Nieves, also add a couple words, and then we're going to get organized on exactly how many are here, and we'll go forward and swear in our new detectives. Chief, give the chief a round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you so much. A memorable moment for not only our officers that are getting promoted today, but for their families as well. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for allowing us to borrow them on a daily basis. I thank them for their tenacity, for their relentlessness, for continuing to do the right thing and continuing to do the right thing for not only the department, but for our communities. Your work will be impeccable. Your work is going to draw a lot from you because our community deserves it. And our community demands it, and so does the police department. Mayor Ganem, I thank you for allowing us to have this opportunity, as well as Council President Nieves, understanding our current situation. I have to tell you a little bit about our Detective Bureau. We were at 83%, 86% clearance rate last year for homicides. We're nationwide, it was at 53% last year. This year, we're at over 90% clearance rate. So they're working hard, and that needs to get acknowledged, even with their shortages. And you know what? 1 year, hopefully, we won't have any homicides. That's our goal. That's what we work to. But you know what? We have to thank all of the men and women, all of law enforcement. We know the tragedies that happened this morning and yesterday in Philly. And I just want to say thank you for your commitment, and thank you for your continued progress and growth and standing united with us in protecting and serving our community. Thank you so much.
You know, we do a lot of stuff together, the chief as well, but I mean the council president and I, and the city council, and you know, the administration, and we're really hand in hand on so many things. But I think especially on how we should best be to proceed in many decisions, this one being especially one that was, I know, near and dear, not just to your brain, but to your heart, and for all the people that serve, for all the men and women that serve, and for all the residents of the city of Bridgeport. Let's give the council president a round of applause.
Thank you, Mayor. That means that I need to play nice this morning. No, but we do work a lot together, and I just want to thank the mayor for always having his door open to address the concerns that I have, especially when we talk about public safety and the needs that need to be met for our community at large. And I want to thank the families as well. As Rebecca said this just now, you know, you lend us your sons, your husbands, your daughters, because we have some women here with us today, to protect our community, but at the same time, you know, you're giving of yourself even though they have that uniform on. And as we see what's happened in Bristol up the road, and your brothers and sisters are suffering in Bristol, we know that we are with them in prayers. But I just want to say that there's a commitment here in the city of Bridgeport, and I want to thank all of these officers that are on here and have had the endurance to wait this long list out, to stay with the city of Bridgeport, and to continue their commitment to the residents and to the public safety issues we have here. And the one thing I want to say with Rebecca speaking stats is, you guys know the bar is very high, so completion rate means a lot. So it speaks to the leadership of the captain, of the DB, of every officer that's in the DB. And so you guys are going to be part of that special, unique team. So when I say the bar is high in the sense of there is a level of professionalism in that division. There's a level of caring in that division, because those detectives care enough to make sure they solve those issues and solve those crimes and have answers for the family members. And sometimes it doesn't happen as fast as we want it to, but there's hard work, commitment, and I applaud you all for your continued effort. But I have one funny story.
Oh, no.
And the mayor's gonna laugh at this. No, it's not about you. Actually, it's about Mark Loretti. So I called the chief in Shelton. I called the chief in Shelton yesterday, Tuesday afternoon, and I told him, hey, I heard you're having interviews, and I hope you're not poaching more of my guys, because I'm sitting in your parking lot watching who's going in the doors, because if I see any of my Bridgeport guys, I'm sending them back home. So he joked about it, and he said, all right, ID, I know what you're telling me. So I know that our guys are here to stay. I know these gentlemen are committed to our city, and I thank you for your continued service and your efforts. And stay here, stay home, and help us be safe. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I wasn't going to say much more, and we'll do the oath in a second with, but, you know, Heidi makes a good point, indirectly and humorously, about how difficult the job of policing is, urban policing, is in America, and in Bridgeport, no different. And so it's a challenge every day, from the leadership from the top to every rank. The challenges are there. The job is even more difficult. But with, I think, the training that and the commitment that are made by each and every man and woman, they do an outstanding job. The chief mentioned, you know, clearance rates, and like, what is clearance rate? You know, it's a lingo, but it means solving a crime case that's usually, I guess it could be apparent when they go there. But the detective bureau is kind of a different rank in many ways, and every rank's obviously important. But the whole department, the whole city looks to the detectives for that, for the ability in many cases, in many situations, to bring closure. And a good detective bureau makes a difference in the quality of life that we're able to allow ourselves to enjoy with challenges every day in the city of Bridgeport. So I want to give them collectively, the whole department. I know we're highlighting detectives today, but let's give it up for the Bridgeport Police Department one more time. And lastly, we take a little pride in this part of it, regardless of all the nuances, that we've completed the list. In other words, we're going to make every individual who successfully passed the test to become a detective. The list kind of dies tomorrow, I think.
Yes.
And so we went and we made sure that everyone who had gone through the ranks and the rigors of taking the test and passed it could raise their right hand here today. So I'm going to ask the chief to call out the officers that we're going to have. I don't think they're all here, and then we'll have them maybe right. Oh, they're right here. Okay. Maybe we'll do it this way. I don't want to turn my back there. We'll ask them to raise their right hand, and we're going to do it collectively. I'm not going to each your names. I'm going to say, "Do you, having been appointed detective?" But the chief's going to identify the officers that are here.
Okay, so we're going to start with Carlos Vasquez, Philip Norris, Alfred Caesar, Devon Polite, Jose Barr, Aaron Rivera, Michael Davila, Robert Pascone, Joseph Cruz III, John Knapp, and Victor Rodriguez are not here, but we would ask that you raise your right hand so the mayor could administer the oath.
Gentlemen, really quick, why don't you squeeze in this way? Perfect, thanks so much. On.
And he'll get your better side if you do that. Please raise your right hand. As we administer the oath, I ask at the end, if you can just say, I do, at the end. You don't have to repeat after me. But as I, having been appointed detective in the Bridgeport Police Department of the City of Bridgeport, solemnly swear that you will faithfully and impartially execute the duties of said office according to the law and to the best of your skill, wisdom, judgment, and ability. And further, that you will support the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Connecticut, so long as you continue in said office, so help you God. And I'd ask you to say at this time, I do.
I do.
Let's give a round of applause to our new detective. Chief.
That's all that good food. Great job. We worked so well together. Tonight's gonna be
I'm gonna go in too.